Hey friends, and welcome to this new video. Today we are finally talking about Poppy Playtime Chapter 5, the new upcoming chapter. In the past few days, Mob Entertainment has released a lot of material about the game, and this allows us to make a bunch of new theories and interesting connections. In particular, today we will focus on two things: the connections we can already notice in the new chapter and some hidden cameras. Yes, you heard that right, the cameras. Let's remember that cameras have always been one of the key elements of the ARG in Poppy Playtime, and this time they seem to have an important role too. Just a few days ago, Mob Entertainment published a video dedicated to Catnap. In that video, we saw a scene showing some cameras. And if we stop for a moment to look closely, there are hidden details that connect this new material with the previous chapters. So today we will do exactly that. We will analyze everything, scene by scene, trying to understand which connections appear and which mysteries might be hidden behind the cameras. If you are curious to discover all of this with me, I recommend staying until the end of the video. And of course, if you like what I do, give the video a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any theories or news about Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. Basically, in this video we will see everything, from connections between chapters to hidden cameras to the small details that many people have probably already noticed but that we want to analyze together. Ready to uncover all the secrets? Then let's get started. Let's start with this screenshot. This is one of the screenshots available on the official page, and if we remember, we had already seen it in the past. Only now, thanks to the new material released by Mob Entertainment, the scene we see takes on a completely different meaning from what we thought before. If we look closely, on the left side of the image we can see a colored wall, and on that wall is drawn a scene with green hills and a blue sky. In the past, we didn't know exactly what this scene represented, and many people even theorized that it could be part of the theater in the game, because it almost looked like a theatrical backdrop. But now, comparing this screenshot with the new Catnap video, we can understand much better what it refers to. In fact, thanks to that video, we saw that this area is connected to the zone where the experiments are conducted. More specifically, we are very close to the cell where Catnap was locked up for brainwashing. This detail completely changes the way we interpret the image. What previously seemed like just a colorful background is now an integral part of the laboratory. Not only that, the same scene with the wall and the green hills drawn also appeared in the cinematic trailer of the prototype. So this further confirms that the area shown in the screenshot is not just decorative, but is actually a zone of the game's laboratory, directly connected to the experiments and the cells where characters like Catnap are held. In short, this screenshot, which at first glance might have seemed like just a secondary detail or a simple scenery, now takes on a much more important role in understanding Chapter 5. It helps us connect the various materials released so far and better understand how the laboratory is structured and where the key events of the game might happen. Now let's analyze another really important screenshot. This screenshot comes directly from the Catnap video, and if we take a close look, we immediately notice a very interesting detail: the corridor. The corridor walls are a uniform light gray, but at the top there is a large dark red stripe running along the entire corridor. At first glance, it might seem like just an aesthetic detail, but if we think carefully, this corridor immediately reminds us of another area we've already seen. In fact, it's the same corridor that appears in the cinematic trailer dedicated to the prototype. In the trailer, we can see the prototype's legs and arms appear right in this corridor, and so from here, we can already make a direct connection between the two materials. This shows us how Mob Entertainment is creating continuity between the different contents. The same corridor appears both in the trailer and in the Catnap video, helping us understand better the layout of the laboratory and the areas where the characters move. Looking at another screenshot, we can notice that this scene is also set in one of these corridors. Here, once again, we see the red stripe at the top, exactly like in the previous corridor. This confirms once more that we are in a specific area of the laboratory and not in random or decorative settings. So, by connecting all these elements, we can say that the corridor where the prototype walks in the cinematic trailer is not an isolated place. It is connected to the scene with the wall, with the green painted hills, and at the same time, to the room where Catnap was locked up for the brainwashing. All of this helps us reconstruct a mental map of the laboratory, understand where the characters move, and see how the various materials released by Mob Entertainment are all interconnected Basically, even if at first glance they seem like small details or secondary scenery, these corridors and red stripes allow us to trace clear connections between the prototype, catnap, and the experimental areas. It's another proof of how the ARG of Poppy Playtime is carefully crafted in the smallest details and how every scene can hide valuable clues. Now let's analyze another very interesting screenshot. This one also comes from the catnap video, but in particular, it shows the moment when the images recorded by the security cameras are displayed. And here we need to pause for a moment because security cameras have never been a random detail in Poppy Playtime games. In fact, they have always been one of the most important elements of the ARG in previous chapters. If we remember, in the previous chapters, through the PC ARG, we could observe various security cameras and gather information, discover hidden clues, and even connect different events in the story. So, considering all of this, it is very likely that the screenshot we are seeing represents one of the cameras we might find in the PC ARG of Chapter 5. If it exists, looking at the scenario in the screenshot, we immediately notice that it is the same corridor we have already seen in the previous screenshots and also in the cinematic trailer where the prototype walks. This makes us think that if there really is a PC ARG in Chapter 5 with security cameras, we could have the chance to closely observe this corridor and maybe discover more hidden details, just like in the previous chapters. Maybe there will even be direct references to the prototype or other experimental elements. It wouldn't be the first time something like this happens. In fact, if we think back to the ARG of Chapter 3, through the cameras we could glimpse Catnap's head and even Mini Dog Day, which appeared as small hidden details in the recordings. So, it is very likely that something similar will happen in Chapter 5 as well. Small appearances or clues that we can discover by carefully observing the cameras. This screenshot is not just a simple picture of the corridor, but could represent a direct connection between the trailer, the laboratory, and the ARG of the next chapter. If the PC ARG is present, we could finally explore these corridors with the cameras and discover possible secrets related to the prototype or other characters. New information for more theories. Let's do a quick recap of what we've seen in this video. We analyzed several screenshots and connections from the new Chapter 5, starting from the wall with the green hills, moving through the corridors with the red stripe, and finally looking at the security cameras shown in the catnap video. Every detail helped us understand the structure of the lab, the links between the various materials released by Mob Entertainment, and what we might expect from the Chapter 5 ARG. I want to thank you for watching the video all the way to the end, because there are so many details to notice and discuss. If you noticed other details or have your own theories, write them in the comments. I always love reading what you think and discussing the game's theories together. Stay tuned to the channel because as soon as new Chapter 5 materials are released, we'll do new analyses and connections just like we did today. And that's it for today's video. Bye bye and see you soon.